Hi everyone, it's Eric from Stride Physiotherapy and Wellness, and today I want to teach you a trigger point release technique of the muscles of the hip. We're going to use a lacrosse ball. Trigger point release of the muscles of the hip is often an exercise that we'll prescribe for patients who are suffering from dysfunction in the lower extremity, as well as tension into the side of the glute and even into the low back. It is often prescribed with a lacrosse ball or other forms of myofascial release, such as this, which is a peanut. Before we get started on the ground, I want to show you where we're going to place the ball. So here I got a model, and what you'll see is there's this great little space between where the leg bone meets the hip that we're going to try and get the ball into when we're lying on the ground. This is the area that we're going to work that ball back and forth to help release some of this tension. So let's see what that looks like on the ground. So in order to start this exercise, we're going to put the ball on the ground, and we're going to position our body so that we're supported with our elbow and with our leg. We're going to place that ball underneath our hip, and then we are going to move our hip into position until we find a spot which is uncomfortable. This is a really good sign. Now, when you get that uncomfortable spot, you have a couple options. You can rest there and let the tissue relax, or you can start to move back and forth. And it's those shear forces or that rolling which is going to help that tissue release. Now, it's hard to visualize with the lacrosse ball, so if we take the peanut, for instance, what you can see a lot better is where I'm putting that ball between that leg bone and that hip, and then we are going to roll back and forth. Now, typically, I will prescribe this exercise for time. So when you find an uncomfortable spot, hold it on that spot for about 30 to 60 seconds before you take a break and move it, and then do that several times, and then we can often do this a couple times a day.